Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Ann Reardon, and in this episode we're going to be debunking something which I have been fooled by so many times, and I did not even realize it was fake. Now that I've seen it, now that I've figured it out, I'm like, of course it's fake. Why didn't I pick this up sooner? And once I've told you about it, it is going to change everything. You're going to be mind blown and go, oh my goodness, why did no one notice this before? But before I get to that, first of all, let me take you on the journey of how I discovered this. Well, lots of you had been sending me messages saying, could you please look into the channel Mr. Cakes? Now, if you haven't seen any of their videos recommended, then basically they are just another channel that is making lots and lots of fast-forwarded, sped-up content of making cakes and chocolate things to music, and they've got quite good production value. Their things at least make sense. They're not like, they don't need debunking in terms of their recipes actually do follow logical steps, and they actually do seem to make sense. You would do those steps to get to the end product. Now, they're not giving you recipe quantities, so you can't actually follow their recipes, so they're just pretty to look at. Nothing dangerous there, nothing out of the ordinary. What is extraordinary though is their views. The views on their videos are huge. Let me show you. If we sort their videos by most popular, this one from 7 months ago is on 77 million views. 1 month ago, 41 million, 39 million. Crazy, right? Like, that's huge view counts. And if we sort their videos by oldest to newest, so we can see how old the channel is, it says their oldest video was uploaded only 11 months ago. And it's currently getting 222 million views a month. You heard that right, 222 million. That's like 2/3 of the US population in their view count last month. That's crazy huge. So who is Mr. Cakes? They are this phenomenally successful channel on YouTube. Who are they? Well, the YouTube channel says that they're located in the USA. And then if we follow the link to their Facebook page and then to their website, this website says under the About Us section that they're a bakery making things from scratch. Their team is Richard Smith. He has a true passion for baking, and that's why he has been our founder and head baker since day one. Susan Anderson, who bakes cakes, decorates and heads up marketing, and Steve Ruffalo, a lead cake designer. Now, I did a quick reverse image search on the photos they had of each of these chefs, and let me just show you here. We have Susan from a stock photo site, there she is, and allow me to introduce you to Richard from Shutterstock, and Steve, the lead cake designer, is also on a free image site. So then I wondered, well, if the photos are faked up, which other websites do that as well. Sometimes they just put a model in there rather than their actual person. But it made me wonder, are the words real or are the words faked up too? So then I put the quote in from their website. He has designed beautiful cakes for various occasions, including weddings, parties, showers, anniversaries, and more. And I searched for that quote, and lo and behold, it's from a website design template page. So you're supposed to take that template and put in your own words and your own photos. But if we look at it, it looks very familiar. It's a bakery that makes fresh goods from scratch. And here's the team: Susan, Steve, and Richard. They did, however, change some things on the website, not much. But if you scroll up, they've changed what we offer to what we offers. They obviously thought there was an error there. So that was an interesting dead end. Then I went on and managed to find, if you look on YouTube, it says that all of their videos are created by Yum Up Limited. So I looked up Yum Up and found their website. And if we go there now, we can tell we're in the right place because it's the exact same website template as we had for the other one. They even have what we offers there instead of what we offer. But they have customized a few more things. So by comparing from the template to what they've actually written, we then know what I guess they think is important to tell us. What it says is they have 245 million subscribers, more than 100 channels on YouTube, 500 million video views, and more than 50 Facebook pages. Well, sounds like we have another content farm. Either that or a hugely successful production company. You can make a decision on that and let me know in the comments as we go along. Now, I did send them an email via their contact email asking if they could send me a list of their channels, but they didn't reply. So I just hunted for them instead. These are the channels that I have found on YouTube that belong to yumup.co. There is Delicious Cakes, My Cupcake. Notice the name similarity to existing channels there, like My Cupcake Addiction. She was an individual creator who's no longer creating. Yummy Plus. Everything is very chocolate themed here. Tasty Choice. This one also looks very similar to the last channel. Chocolate Plus. It's really hard to tell these apart from their videos. Easy Cake Decorating Ideas. This looks very, very similar. I'm leaning towards content farm rather than production company. Top Yummy, Mr. Chef, and of course there's Mr. Cakes. That's what started this whole journey. There's also a whole heap more channels. I'm not going to show you their individual channels. They're all very similar. I'll just run you through the names so you know. There is Easy Plus Hair Inspiration, Pretty Hair, So Tasty, Easy Chocolate, Luxe Beauty, Beyond Tasty, Cake Junkie, Tasty Plus, Cake Lovers, Top Hairstyles, Yummy Cookies, Amazing Cookies, Top Tasty, Cookies Inspiration, How to Cake, Not How to Cake It, Top Yummy Japan, Voguish Hairstyles, Master Cake, Delicioso Superior, Craft Ideas, which is not craft, it is cake. Tiny Cakes, So Girly, Yum Up, Extreme Cakes, you get the picture. There's a lot. And I only found 28 of them. They say they have 100 channels. That was only 28, and of those 28, just looking at them, guess how many video views they had in the last year? Take a guess. I'd say write it in the comments, but you're just going to listen and then write that in the comments. It was 2.5 billion video views. 2.5 billion video views, and most of their audience is in the USA. They are doing a great job of this. They're winning. The sheer number of YouTube channels that they have would really help them to be able to cross-promote. It's a bit like when a YouTuber does a collaboration with another YouTuber, but in this case, they don't have to even bother. They've got 100 channels that they can just cross-collaborate between. I did notice on some of their channels that the top commenters were in fact other Yum Up channels, so they're not individual people, they're their employees commenting. So it makes you wonder, do they also share it? Do they also do all those things? It makes the algorithm go, wow, this is a really good channel, really good video, we should show it to more people. Now, when I looked into it a bit more, their website actually did give us an address. So if we follow that and put that into Google Maps, it takes us here to a building in Vietnam, where as well as making lots of videos, they do unboxings of YouTube play buttons. YouTube's own website says that they don't just send out play buttons to everyone who reaches the milestones. The milestones, if you don't know, is you get a silver play button at 100,000 subscribers, a gold play button at 1 million subscribers, and a diamond one at 10 million subscribers. Now, YouTube says they don't just send them to everyone who reaches the milestones, they only send it to recognized creators that are playing by the rules. And if we have a look here, it says channels are subject to review before rewards are given, and only creators that keep their accounts in good standing will get them. Now, Yum Up's website says that they have become a very popular branding with more than 100 golden buttons on the YouTube platform. As I said, you get a gold button for 1 million subscribers. I have nothing against people in Vietnam creating successful channels and doing amazingly well. But I do think that the repetition of content across 100 different channels is just negative for the platform, and I am surprised that it keeps getting rewarded with views and that it's allowed to work. Now, YouTube does have a policy, if you look here, about spam and deceptive practices, and under an example of video spam, it says posting the same content repeatedly across one or more channels is not okay. But as you know, we have raised this with YouTube on behalf of other channels, and they have said as long as it's your own content and not someone else's content, it doesn't count as repetitious content. I would think it would be a good thing to update that policy, but they haven't, so they're obviously happy with the amount of money that these content farms are making. YouTube is also making money. You might also have noticed something that caught my attention, and I'd be interested to know, so let me know in the comments if you noticed this. And that was the same thumbnail again and again and again. Let me go back to Mr. Cakes for you so you can see. So if we focus just for example's sake on the heart with a knife about to cut into it, it's there, and there's another one, and another, again, and again. Oh, and there it is again. And there two, there again, and this one we're up to 10, 11, 12, 13, you get the picture. It's the same thing again and again, but what blew me away was that when I actually watched one of the videos, which was called Perfect Chocolate Heart Cake Decorating Ideas, and it had that picture on the thumbnail, well, Let me show you in fast forward and you can see for yourself. Here's the thumbnail for your reference. We have a cake and another cake, a round cake, a slice, another cake, a cookie cake, a dessert, fruit kebabs, macarons, some weird thing in a cup. They didn't even tell us what that whipped stuff was, so I'm a bit confused what that was. Yet another cake, and finally a meringue cloud with my invention of a sugar balloon bowl sitting on top. That just doesn't look good together. But anyway, let's not get distracted. The point is, there was no chocolate heart in that video. There was nowhere that a knife was cutting through a chocolate heart, and neither was the other dessert on the thumbnail. They're not in the video. There's a knowledge gap. There's something you see and you go, I want to know that. So you see the heart with the knife on it, you go, I want to know what's inside that heart, what happens when they cut into it. And then that releases a dopamine thing, which is a hormone in your brain, which then makes you want to take an action. In this case, the action is click on the video to watch it. So then you can see what happens with that heart. And usually then if you then see it, you get some level of satisfaction. But if you're not seeing it, there's then that seeking is still there. It's like a dopamine loop. There was no satisfaction, so you want to click again. It's like having a itch that needs to be scratched, but you don't actually get to scratch it. And then the next time you see that thumbnail, you still don't know. And you go, oh, I wonder what is inside that heart. And you click again on the same thing. And of all the videos that were on Mr. Cakes with that thumbnail, I couldn't find them cutting into the heart anywhere in any of the videos that had that on their thumbnail. Now, they have 100 channels. That's what they tell us. And so it's quite possible it is in one of their videos somewhere, a chocolate heart with a knife cutting through it, but it's not in the videos here that I can see where it's on the thumbnail. So the thumbnails are fake. They're not even real of what's in the video at all, which is really interesting. That made me look into clickbait a little bit more. And there was this fascinating thing by Nathalie Nahali. She's the author of the books Webs of Influence. And she said there's a formula to the titles, which when you hear this, you are going to laugh and go, oh, I've seen those before. But she says you use a number or a trigger word followed by an adjective, followed by a keyword, followed by a promise. So for example, let's look at 5-minute crafts because they follow this formula a lot. A number, say 28, an adjective, simple. Keywords, hacks, and then the promise, that will change your life. And now you read every one of their titles, you're going to go, oh, they're all following the clickbait formula. That together with the thumbnail makes you want to click on it and find out what that hack is for. And another one, we've got a number, 11, an adjective, cool, a keyword, life tips, and promise, that will save you a fortune. Now, if you have a clickbait title like that combined with a clickbait thumbnail, in this case, their thumbnail is of a broken phone, it's completely cracked and shattered and they're putting toothpaste on it to fix it, that creates the dopamine hit, because who of us haven't had a broken phone in your household and you've gone and got a quote for getting it fixed and it is going to cost you a fortune. So you would like to know, you probably, if you're like me thinking toothpaste isn't going to work, but I'd like to see them try, you'd like to know if there is a way of fixing your phone. So you and millions of other people, 21 million other people in fact, might click on that video to find out. Now, if we watch that video together, and I'll put it in fast forward of course, they make a cushion for their dog, a collar for another dog, a box for a cat scratching pole, a pillowcase, a bath mat, cutting up a tank top, mittens for couples, a work belt, or I guess you could have just worn the jeans instead of cutting up the jeans, polishing boots using oil and leather conditioner mixed together, sewing yourself a travel holder for toiletries that's not waterproof, so if it spills it's going to go all through your luggage, cleaning the bottom of a saucepan. Have you ever cleaned the bottom of your saucepan? I don't tend to do that. Cleaning your extraction fan filters, they can go in the dishwasher by the way. Cleaning jewelry. Wasn't this supposed to be 11 hacks? We've had 14 already. Clearly the number can just be a random number when you're doing clickbait. It doesn't have to relate to the video at all. And using a Pringles tube to make a light with a torch and a light with string lights. And there's a money tin to save money in so that I can save a fortune. Now, did you notice there was no iPhone and there was no toothpaste in that whole video? I was just amazed when I saw that. You get so distracted by the incredibly boring hacks that aren't useful and won't save you a fortune that you forget why you actually clicked. So you don't even notice that it was a fake thumbnail, that it's not even in the video. And that thumbnail was so powerful that if we look up how to fix a cracked iPhone with toothpaste, look at that. There are so many videos saying, can you fix it with toothpaste? And it was just the thumbnail. It wasn't even in that video. Now, of all the videos that have got many million views on that thumbnail, the one that was the most honest was Mr. Beast's. He at least smashes a phone.
Disclaimer, the microphone on my camera didn't work while I was recording, so I'm gonna have to make all the sound effects manually with my mouth. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Now we just rub it on the phone and it should fix the cracks. I mean, it worked for this YouTuber and this one and this one and this one. I mean, it's gotta work. And now we just rub a dub it off.
I'm not actually going to show you what happens when he wipes off the toothpaste. You're going to have to go and watch the video on his channel for that, because he is a genuine creator and I want you to watch some of his videos because he really needs some more views. No, seriously, he does. He gives away so much money, he probably does need some more views so that he can pay for it. Have a look at this other one that I showed you before, the 28 simple hacks that will change your life. Wear wet socks to bed, it says on the thumbnail. Now, I've cut this up here for you so that you can see all the hacks quickly. In this video, there are not 28 hacks, there are 66, and not one of them is about wearing socks to bed. In fact, there is not one video hack in there about bed or about socks, and definitely not wet socks. So the thumbnail, which is completely fake, got you to click. Well, not necessarily you may not have been fooled, but lots and lots, and I'm talking millions of other people have been fooled by this. So the combination of the clickbait title with a clickbait fake thumbnail that isn't even in the video gets millions of people to click and is working for these content farms. Now, amazingly, this happens again and again on the channel. This video does not have anyone putting an iPhone anywhere near a watermelon. Even in simple things like 28 summer desserts for your family, it doesn't have the dessert that's on the thumbnail in the video anywhere. Now, I found this interesting because I've been saying to YouTube for years, since they changed the artificial intelligence algorithm, it really favors clickbait and compilation. And now, years later, this is what we're seeing. Clickbait and compilations. That's all we're seeing. That's all that the algorithm is pushing in front of everyone. But they do actually have a policy ruling against fake thumbnails. You're not allowed to do the bait and switch. But obviously nobody's noticed it because YouTube's been reviewing these channels and they've said they're playing by the rules. I'm a bit unsure what rules we're supposed to be playing by here. But remember, they also do have a policy against dangerous content, and they don't think encouraging people to put strawberries in bleach to make them white or pour boiling hot molten sugar on beaters so it flicks around is dangerous. So there may be a reason why this isn't fake thumbnails and this is okay for them too, because money's involved. But anyway, you let me know if you think maybe I'm just looking at the wrong place for the rules that we're supposed to be playing by as YouTube creators. Let me know in the comments if I've got that wrong. I want to say thank you so much to my patrons for allowing me to keep doing this channel. Seriously, without the people supporting me on Patreon, I would have stopped uploading videos a year and a half ago. You guys are what kept the channel going, so I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to do that. I really appreciate it. You can watch some more of my debunking videos here and some more non-clickbaity titled normal creative videos here. Obviously, I've been doing it all wrong. Make it a great week and I'll see you on Friday.